everybody. How are you? Good. Welcome to Story and Art. I'm Gretchen, as if you didn't know that. Water time. And I cannot believe we're at show 600. 600. How did that happen? Just, it's not like there's not plenty of books out there to keep me busy, but 600. And my dear friends have been hanging out and coming with consistency and always there. Yay. Let's see who else. Well, Linda's here and Tamara's here. Somebody else is here. I can see him hiding. There's somebody lurking in the background because there's 4 viewers. And hasn't chimed in yet in the broadcast. That's okay. You're welcome to join in on the chat, in the live chat. But Tamara and Linda have long time been loyal fans of Coming to Story and Art. Linda was my first moderator here, and she still continues to be the amazing moderator. And Tamara is also one of my moderators. Tamara is from the future, though. She is in Australia. What is in my eye? Okay. So, it's probably dog hair from all. I'm going to blame Aldo, the dog, because I've been running around today with him. Took him to his dog groomers. He goes to the groomer once every 4 to 6 months, whatever. So it is too long this time because we had to cancel the last one. But so he had his grooming appointment. He's all fluffed up. He's got his ears trimmed. He's got his paws trimmed. He's got his paw pads shaved out. He's got his nails done. He's got all softened up. He's just happy as a clam. He thinks he's pretty hot stuff. Yep, that's it. But 600, yeah. I know. Anyway, we're all rugged up. And you're like, oh, thank you. It is about, I'm not sure, in the 80s, low 80, 83 over here, over at my sister's house. She just got home to Eastern Washington. It's in the 97. But it wasn't too bad. I went out today to take Aldo to his groomer, so I had to drop him off, and then I had some errands to run. And I took myself down to the marina. This is part of the Artist Way doing, and you're supposed to take yourself on an artist date each week. And although it wasn't really my official artist date because I wasn't completely alone, I had a Zoom call with my Video Creator Club pals, Mary Lou and Eden and Caleb and I think who else was there? Okay, Lauren and Laura and somebody else. But Robin, we're all there. Yes. So we were doing that. But I decided to, rather than sit in the truck under the tree branch, I went down and sat on the marina at the dock with my feet hanging over the edge, dipping my toes in Puget Sound, looking at Mount Rainier and seeing all the boats and paddle boards go by. It was just glorious. It was really glorious just to sit there. So if you're going to need to be on a Zoom call, at least, and one you wanted to be on, at least outside and then joining myself. But tonight we are here to celebrate stories. And since it is the 600th show, I'm going to take us back, and we're going to go back to somebody who started it all for me. But before we do that, we are going to do our special edition here tonight of Show and Tell. Yes, we have. So we have Tamara's work up first, and she has ciabatta is a bread roll from our local bakery. It looks like the head of an Easter island. I couldn't help myself and I had to take a photo. Let me get her photo up for this one. This is ciabatta, and I think this is the one. Yes. It does. It does look like a head from Easter Island, and it was a picture that you took at a local bakery of a bread. I love it. This is the kind of abstract stuff and the kind of things that, you know, artists do. We find stuff in the funniest places. Yeah, I have a loaf of bread that looks like one of the statues from Easter Island. Yeah, perfectly normal. Perfectly normal for me to see that. I love it. I absolutely love it. That's so cool. Then she has these, I think, Soulmates. Soulmates is a work in progress. One and two. I am close to finishing this piece. I made the colors myself and I'm pleased with the second one. It's hard to see in the photos, but I put a gold paint in the colors so it will glow in different lights. It looks so beautiful. The white, as always, adds a dash of dark blue. The white, as always, has a dash of dark blue to make the white glow, as well as especially next to the darker color. The size of Soulmates is 81 centimeters by 61 centimeters. I'm trying to decide if and where to put a moon. Okay, Soulmates was inspired by one of my favorite artists, Giovanni Segantini. Okay, if you wrote, and then pull up the other Soulmates. Yeah, Soulmates 1 and 2. Okay, did I get them? Okay, I got them backwards. Let me switch them around. Boot, boot. There. Because the one, yes, okay. The one on the left is Soulmates 1. And the one on the right is Soulmates 2. It's her work in progress. Gosh, Tamara, these are just glorious. Oh man, there's things I like about each of them in a little different way. Let's see. Can I put that up there? There we go. Get myself smaller and out of your way. There. I like being able to see the definition of the face in the one on the right, in the larger face. But I also like the white glow and I like the color combination in the one on the left, the way it's put together. And it's funny that you use that color. You'll see something in one of mine that just remember that color combination, you guys, when you see one of the things I did today. Okay, just remember that. That's all I'm asking you to remember. Okay. I like the one on the left, but both are truly gorgeous. Leaving it as is. I bought it for lunch and had a photo before. Oh, no, you bought it for lunch and had to photo it before you ate it up? That's classic. I love it. That's so good. Sunrise and sunset. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Or it could be moonrise. Dude, oh, my God. It's so cool. Anyway, and then let me get these two. And this was one that she sent me earlier in the week when I thought I was going to do it. And I didn't have anything on the email about it, so I don't know about this. So Tamara will have to tell us a little bit about this. But I love the relief type aspect of it, the cutout and how you moved the piece back and use the negative space in this one. And then again, this is one of your papers that is kind of maybe a collage piece behind it. I really like this one too. So tell us a little bit about, if you can, Tamara, about this one. Because this was the one that was attached to the email that you sent. A piece from the last one. Okay, cool. Yeah. Are you? Do you have yours on? Mine just cut out. Thank you. Okay. We just had some internet stuff happen. So, anyway, Yeah, make sure I don't have anything else plugged in. Taking my power. There. Okay. So on Tamara. Woohoo! Where is my? Oh my goodness. There we go. Yay! Okay, now. So I told you a little bit about my build your own flock for my artwork. So what I did was when I was at that conference and it just didn't think it was like you kind of have to build your own flock. Like, some may have long arms or short legs or this, but did they, and you choose them to be the people and the way just because they are. So I'm building my own flock, and it was an original idea. The original idea was a Build-A-Bird from Diane Anton, and she had done some things where she made different pieces. Well, I made a whole bunch of different pieces: beaks, bodies, crests, eyes, heads, legs, tail feathers, and wings. And I asked people that are part of my flock to give me their numbers. And I didn't necessarily, Mary Lou and Caleb and Doc, well, Doc didn't have a choice. I didn't tell him whether it was beak or bird. I just asked for this one for beaks, it was 1 to 13. I just said, Mary Lou, give me a number between 1 and 13. Caleb, give me a number between 1 and 7, because we were on a call and I could do that. For Linda and Tamara, I asked that I gave them a list of the body parts, except I left one of the body parts off. So I kind of had to wing it there. Wing it, you get it? Wing it. And Tamara's fit with a pattern. Linda's was I just reached in and random pulled the piece out that I hadn't got. And they gave me numbers to come up with theirs. So first off, I'm going to show you the ones I've done for some other people. So Caleb's started out like this. This is what the pieces all put together for his bird. And this is what I painted it like. And we've actually named it. He named it Tweedledee. Tweedledee, get it? Tweedledee. So that's one of my birds that I'm doing. And then Mary Lou's parts laid out like this. And I painted it, and it kind of came together like this one. Pretty fun. And then Doc Rock, who's been my coach for going live and online things for so long. Hi, Paul. Nice. So Doc was gone into Tampa, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to be at class, and I wasn't going to be able to ask him. But I know that his favorite number is 8. So I made a favorite bird. That's the Doc numbers. And I have to get Mr. Moderator Paul Duncan to give me numbers too. But we'll do that next Saturday in class or something like that. I'll put it in our group. And then Doc's favorite color is purple. So there's the favorite bird. But I'll ask him if he wants other numbers. See if do another one. Okay. And these were all ones that I laid out the pieces and then drew around them and stuff. Linda's, I think I actually drew that and then painted the one I drew. This is Linda's from her numbers. Linda, you need a name for Linda's, for your Linda bird. I mean, because, started thinking presidents' wives and stuff like that. And it was like, no. So, Linda, you need to think of a name and either put it in the chat, and had to show up for 600. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, I know Roy is live. I didn't realize that I forgot that he'd go at the same time because I had to move to tonight because Patty was here last night. So my sister's weekend was very successful. Anyway, this is Linda's. So Linda needs a name. It's got my three little ants. I think these are my irritating sisters. You know, I love them in all the pictures, but sometimes they bug me. Anyway, and so that was that. Now, Tamara's, there's Tamara. I have to give an explanation first. So for Tamara's, okay, let me go back here. Where am I? Okay. So for Tamara's, she sent an email that said this and da 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 da. She had her favorite numbers were 3, 9, and 12, but lately she'd been seeing this, and this other things, and then for some reason, whatever I was on, I was either on out in the studio or something. I didn't scroll down to the rest of the email and see her list of numbers. So I just took those numbers that she had and went through my envelopes and pulled out the numbers kind of as they went in random like kind of way. And then her ones when she said she'd been seeing 11-1 and 11-11 and then 80, 88, 88. So her the first one I did at Tamara's came out like this. This is the 3, 9, 12, 11, 1, 11, 11, 8. And I'm on the wrong screen there. There we go. Here we go. So you understand the color back. So this was inspired by Tamara background. When I think of Australia, I think of that color dirt and stuff like that. So this was the first one I've done for Tamara that weren't really her choices, but because, I just didn't quite read the email all the way through the end. And then today when I read the email and I came scurrying back, I got these pieces. So let me show you how I kind of do this. So these are the pieces that Tamara has actually chosen. So it's like putting a puzzle together. You never quite know what they're going to do. And so there's the body. Can go either way. Here's the legs. This is the head. That's pretty funny. Here's the beak. Has a giant beak. Oh, see now here's a completely different looking one for Tamara. I could do that one with the eyeballs and the tail and a wing. So it could look like that. But I put it together earlier today and got it to look like this. And I haven't painted it yet, but I might switch one up. I might lay it out again. So we'll see next week what I've painted Tamara's to look like. But that's the pieces that Tamara, so it's a fun puzzle thing to put together. So you never quite know. When I first did it, I was just grabbing random pieces. But then when I wanted to do Caleb and Mary Lou, I needed to have them choose. So I like Mary Lou's is funny. Anyway, it's a fun kind of things. And I was doing it, started to do it partially because Mary Lou and Doc had kind of a challenge on their show that they do, Creators Unstuck, about doing shorts. So that's my art for this week. Bing! They had kind of a challenge about doing shorts and just doing stuff. And so I just came up with those and kind of did some crazy stuff. Got some other art that's not quite finished yet, working on. But anyway, we'll be back next week on Sunday for more show and tell. And we'll see how the flock comes along. And there's a story coming along with that too. So I'm not quite sure how the story is heading and where it's going, but it's developing, and it's getting little notes taken in my morning pages, and it's getting little notes added in my art journal in the evening, and you never quite know where it's going to go or what bird's going to fly in that day. So, yeah, it was lots of fun. Anyway, so tonight for Story and Art, I'm taking us back to the beginning, to the way back, to probably one of the ones who's responsible for this whole obsession with picture books. And it's this one right here. Green Eggs and Ham. This particular book, Gretchen, Christmas, 1962. This was my Christmas present that I loved. So excited to get that book when I was 6 years old on that Christmas, and I've kept it. And it started this obsession. But tonight, I wanted to kind of take us a little bit out of I'll read Green Eggs and Ham, and I might read, there's another one too that's just hilarious. But I wanted to dive into a little bit of the artist behind Green Eggs and Ham and take you to the life of Dr. Seuss, Theodore Geisel. Let me move myself over to the side. Oops, he's fine. What happened? Oh, this can stay. I can lock that overlay. Unlock this one and move myself over the side. So this is a book I picked up at the library, and it's called Dr. Seuss, The Cat Behind the Hat. And it is not it's not a picture book. It's a reference book. And came out in 2012. And probably, I would say I was living down in Kirkland when I did this. So this would have been between 2007 and 2009. I went to a gallery show in Bellevue at Nordstrom's Gallery. And there was the Nordstrom's family is from the Northwest, and one of the members of the family was a big art collector and had a gallery in downtown Kirkland, and then moved to one in Bellevue, and brought in this absolutely amazing gallery show of the artwork and the art of Theodore Geisel. And it was something that I've never really quite forgotten. And so here's a little intro to it, because he was so much more than the Cat in the Hat. And this is from Audrey Geisel. And he says, I have said that Ted knew he would leave big footprints after he was gone, but he couldn't possibly have known the astounding impact his legacy would have on the world of art, literature, pop, and high culture. It is poetic that one of Ted's most treasured possessions was a fossil given to him by his father in 1933. It's a heavy stone slab embedded with a dinosaur footprint 11 inches wide and 16 inches long. Provenance placed its discovery near Holyoke, Massachusetts, and Yale anthropologists believe it to be 150 million years old. Ted called it the oldest antique in the world. He loved that piece, and he always kept it close, moving it with him wherever he lived. Today it is prominently displayed at the entry of our home, Seuss House. For me, this big footprint is symbolic of the life that made a permanent mark, a life held in universal high esteem, a life whose joyful rhymes and far-off fantasies speak still to an ever-growing world of readers. This in-depth look at Ted's artistic life ventures through the chapters of his career that many never knew existed, from the days as an advertising illustrator to his work on the war effort, his political cartoons, and of course, the images that connected so many children and parents in the enlightened approach to reading. Here you will find key examples of his most treasured private works, some of which are familiar and others that are just now seeing the light of day. Through it all, it was Ted's undeniable, consistent, and unique artistic footprint that carried him through so many personal and professional adventures. It is with great pleasure that I share Ted, his art, his imagination, and his boundless creativity with you through the pages of this book. And I'm gratified to carry out Ted's wishes and have these works revealed to the world. I dedicate this book to Ted's artistic footprint in time, now set forever in stone. And this is a piece, every girl should have a unicorn. It's oil and pencil on board. It doesn't have a date on it as to when he did this. Aldo, go upstairs. Go check out that. I can't let you out right now. Oh my gosh. Oh, go on. You guys hang on just a sec. Aldo has to go outside and he's whimpering at me like the world is going to end. Hang on. I'll be right back. My goodness. Man, that dog. Somebody else is in the center of attention and he's not having it. Anyway, his early work is just amazing, the things he's done. And this is not, well, so we're going to go as early as it gets. Dr. Seuss and his midnight paintings. There is a preface and an intro. I'm not going to read that. But this says, please read. And why is that? That's a problem. There we go. Switched back on me. Let me get this in your focus a little better. There we go. Please read. A chronology disclaimer of Seussian proportions. It is downright absurd to make an art book on Dr. Seuss that attempts to straight chronology on his life and work of this multi-talented author, illustrator, painter, sculptor, political cartoonist, ad man, doodler, practical joker, and cat behind the hat. Chronology is, in this case, an elusive term. His life meanders between so many facets of artistic impulses, with images cross-pollinating over years and even decades, that the chronological line of his life is as dippy and curved as the architectural elements of a house in Whoville. Therefore, the book you are about to enjoy is chronological gibberish. Or chronological-ish. Aubrey would like this. That is to say, some things come at the right time and some things at the wrong time. But just as Dr. Seuss taught us to look at life through the wrong end of the telescope, the iconic artwork packed into the following pages helps us understand that it isn't always a straight line from here to there that matters, but rather the fun of the journey that really counts. And here it is as if this is Dr. Seuss and his midnight paintings. Here it is as if the grand characters of Seuss's performances have stepped off the stage, slept off their makeup, and sat down to enjoy a few cocktails after the show. If you don't get imagination as a child, you probably never will. Can you see in his abstracts? I like nonsense. It wakes up the brain cells. Fantasy is a necessary ingredient in living. It's a way of looking at life through the wrong end of a telescope, which is what I do. And that enables you to laugh at life's realities. let me try something here. This is not being its best focus mode. And I wonder if I can manually focus, make it focus any better. Pop up here. Come on. And manually, where's my manual focus? That's a little better. Okay, so it goes through some absolutely incredible things. Venetian cat singing on on solo meow. A man who has made an unwise purchase. That's the name of this one. The artwork in this book alone is absolutely staggering. And I remember going to this gallery show and just being completely blown away. Theodore Roosevelt. I can hear it now, Ted said softly. Theodore Roosevelt looking around and asking, "What is this little boy doing here?" And from the audience, all those eyes staring right through me. I can still hear the people whispering, "Ted Geisel tried to get a medal, and he didn't deserve it." It's just all alone. Whether you like it or not, alone will be something you'll be quite a lot. From Oh, the Places You'll Go. So what I thought I would do for the next few weeks is just share a few of these. I might actually do some shorts from this book. Oh, yes, that's The Places You'll Go. And then we get to these guys, his black and whites. You'll get mixed up, of course. Here, PFC Filer's story, scenes from a theatrical production that never was. So we go on and on through this book, and you'll see the whimsical things that he had along so much of his work. I'm subversive as hell. I've always had a mistrust of adults. I need a t-shirt with that. And then this is a work I saw, and it just floored me. This is the family tree of the 7 Godivas. This is Dr. Seuss's The 7 Lady Godivas. Yeah. It has occurred to me that it would make a good musical if I could solve the problem of the naked women and the horses. The naked women are easier today. The horses make more of a problem. That was a 1986 interview with the Los Angeles Times. He had so much work that we don't know about. In The Sad Story of the Blacks, during World War II, if I can find this section, I had it. He was a political cartoonist, and he worked. Let's see if I can. Let me go to the table of contents. That would help the librarian. Right. Get to the table of contents. And where did it go? The war years, 134. See, table of contents are good. Oh gosh, 138. Here we go. So, the war years. I believed that the United States would be destroyed if we followed the thinking of the American firsters. Colonel Charles Lindbergh, Senator Burton K. Wheeler, and Senator Gerald Prentice Nye, and the rot that the fascist priest Father Charles Coughlin was spewing out over the air. I was intemperate, unhumorous in my attacks on this group, and I'll do it again. So if you can look at these. What the country needs is a good mental insecticide. Gracious, what was that in my head? Racial prejudice bug. His political cartoons were something else. Put your finger here, pal. Racial hatred, my annual gift to civilization. It was just pictures of Hitler. His political cartoons could fit completely in today. His colors, the brilliance, all that he did. A study of Theodore Geisel, Dr. Seuss, is something that I absolutely think is just amazing. So, along with that, in 1950, he wrote a story called Gerald McBoing-Boing, based on the Academy Award-winning motion picture by Dr. Seuss. They put this book. He did this. But I linked it in the description. The YouTube short. It's on YouTube. It is a 6.5-minute short. It won the Academy Award for Best Animated Film in 1950, and it's called Gerald McBoing-Boing. And I've never read it to anybody before, and I thought it was time, because how I love. Let's get that to maybe manual focus. Go back to focus mode. Autofocus. Global. Maybe. Gerald McBoing-Boing. It is a story, and the animation and the way it reads, this short from 1950, is so well done, and it could fit today so well. It's great. So sit back, enjoy this. Gerald McBoing-Boing by Dr. Seuss. This is the story of Gerald McCloy and the strange thing that happened to that little boy. They say it all started when Gerald was 2. That's the age kids start talking. At least most of them do. Well, when he started talking, you know what he said? He didn't talk words. He went boing, boing instead. "What's that?" cried his father, his face turning gray. "That's a very odd thing for a young boy to say." And poor Gerald's father rushed to the phone and quick dialed the number of Dr. Malone. "Come over fast," the poor father pled. "Our boy can't speak words. He goes boing, boing instead." "I see," said the doctor. "It's just as you said. He doesn't speak words. He goes boing, boing instead. I've no cure for this. I can't handle this case." And he packed up his pills and walked out of the place. Then months passed, and Gerald got louder and louder, till one day he went boom like a big keg of powder. It was then that his father said, "This is enough. He'll drive us both mad with this terrible stuff. A boy of this age shouldn't sound like a fool. He's got to learn words. We must send him to school." So Gerald marched off, an obedient creature, but he soon was back home with a note from his teacher. From Public School 7 to Mrs. McCloy. Your little son's Gerald's a most hopeless boy. We cannot accept him, for we have a rule that pupils must not go cuckoo in our school. Your boy will go honk all his life. I'm afraid. Sincerely yours, Fanny Schultz, teacher, first grade. And as little Gerald grew older, he found when a fellow goes bam, no one wants him around. When a fellow goes shriek, he won't have any friends. For once he says clang, 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 all the fun ends. Nah, they shouted. Your name's not McCloy, you're Gerald McBoing Boing, the noise-making boy. Poor Gerald decided that he had no place at home, in the school, in the whole human race. And so he concluded that, drear and forlorn, he would just disappear in the thick of a storm. But as he was boarding a slow-moving freight, a voice from the darkness called out, "Stop, boy, wait! Aren't you Gerald McBoing Boing, the lad who makes squeaks? My boy, I have searched for you many long weeks. I can make you the most famous lad in the nation, for I own the Bong 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 radio station. I need a smart fellow to make all the sounds, who can bark like a dog and bay like the hounds. Your gong is terrific, your toot is inspired. Quick, come to Bong Bong Bong, Mr. McBoing Boing, you're hired." Now his parents, proud parents, were able to boast that their Gerald's clop clop bang is known coast to coast. Now Gerald is rich. He has friends. He's well fed, 'cause he doesn't speak words. He goes boing boing instead. You got to go and watch the video of this, because the animation is hilarious and so well done. The mother sitting by sewing and her arm stretches out. When he's hired by the radio station and they're doing, of course, radio shows, the storytelling that they had those radio shows, and he does all the sound effects for it, and just beyond all of this, it's so good. And it's just an amazing, amazing piece of work that he did. Oh my goodness. So that's that. Let's see, what's everybody saying? Let me go back up here and see what everybody's saying. McBoing Boing, love it. Read those to my boys. Yes, ladies, it's slaying it. Yes, it is fun. They are so good. Dr. Seuss just never gets old. And the more I find about him, I think I'm going to get this big book. It's one of those, sometimes you find books that might be ones you want to have more than just from the library. I saw it when I took myself on one of my artist date. I went to the Gig Harbor Library because I'd never been there, and I found that, and I was like, oh, it's so good. There's just so much to learn about him. So I'm going to close out tonight's show, the story for tonight, with the one and only green eggs and ham. Now, let's check the big book here, what it says about green eggs and ham. If there's a chapter on it. Green eggs and ham, 276. 276. There we go. Green Eggs and Ham was written on a bet with Ted's publisher that he couldn't write a book using 50 words or less. I do not like you, Mr. Fell. The reason why I cannot tell, but this I know, and know full well I do not like you, Mr. Fell. These are some of his notes that he had. As a girl, Ted's mother, Nettie, sold pastries in her family's bakery, repeatedly listing the day's bill of fare for customers. When Ted was small, she would softly chant the litany of the pies to lull him to sleep. Ted would later tell his biographers that his mother was the person most responsible for the rhymes in which I write and the urgency with which I do it. This is a self-portrait of the artist worrying about his next book. Oh my goodness. Yes, so I do not like you, Mr. Fell. That was an early rendition, but now it came. And this is what came of the bet. Let's see if we have green eggs and ham. Let me pull my camera down a little bit better. So, there. I am Sam. I am Sam. Sam, I am. That's Sam, I am. That's Sam, I am. I do not like that Sam, I am. Do you like green eggs and ham? I do not like them, Sam, I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. Would you like them here or there? I would not like them here or there. I would not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam, I am. Would you like them in a house? Would you like them with a mouse? I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam, I am. Would you like them in a box? Would you eat them with a fox? Not in a box, not with a fox, not in a house, not with a mouse. I would not eat them here or there. I would not eat them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam, I am. Could you in a car? Eat them, here they are. I would not, could not in a car. You may like them. You will see. You may like them in a tree. I would not, could not in a tree, not in a car. You let me be. I do not like them in a box. I do not like them with a fox. I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam, I am. A train. A train. A train, a train. Could you, would you on a train? Not on a train, not in a tree, not in a car. Sam, let me be. I would not, could not in a box. I could not, would not with a fox. I will not eat them with a mouse. I will not eat them in a house. I will not eat them here or there. I will not eat them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam, I am. Say, in the dark, here in the dark, would you, could you in the dark? I would not, could not in the dark. Would you, could you in the rain? I would not, could not in the rain, not in the dark, not on a train, not in a car, not in a tree. I do not like them, Sam, you see. Not in a house, not in a box, not with a mouse, not with a fox. I will not eat them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. You do not like green eggs and ham? I do not like them, Sam, I am. Would you with a goat? I would not, could not with a goat. Could you on a boat? I could not, would not on a boat. I will not with a goat. I will not eat them in a train. I will not eat them in the rain, not in the dark, not in a tree, not in a car. You let me be. I do not like them in a box. I do not like them with a fox. I will not eat them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. You do not like them, so you say. Try them, and you may. Try them, and you may, I say. Sam, if you will let me be, I will try them. You will see. Oh, say, I like green eggs and ham. I do. I like them, Sam I am, and I would eat them in a boat, and I would eat them with a goat, and I will eat them in the rain, in the dark, and on a train. In a car and in a tree, they are so good, you see. So I will eat them in a box, and I will eat them with a fox, and I will eat them in a house, and I will eat them with a mouse, and I will eat them here and there. Say, I will eat them anywhere. I do so like green eggs and ham. Thank you, Sam I am. And that is green eggs and ham. And Dr. Seuss's birthday every year at school, practically schools across the nation, serve green eggs and ham for breakfast or even for lunch. Oh, yay. Awesome fun books. I'm glad you like them. Anyway, that is probably, I don't know. I have no ideas how many times I've read this book, but it was my Christmas present in 1962. And I was 6. So I was already, I think I was in first grade, and I was reading chapter books by the time I was 5. But when I got my own copy of a book in my hand at Christmas, and it was so much fun to read, and it was just one of those that you could just go in and good. Hey, Mary Lou! Oh my gosh. Mary Lou, you weren't here. You guys, this is the Mary Lou. This is Miss Mary Lou. There's the Miss Mary Lou bird. Yeah. So her numbers came out looking like that, and then I poofed it up. Mary Lou, you need to come up with a name for your bird. Caleb already chose Tweedledee, so we need a name from you. Anyway, hop on back here. So, yes, like I said, it, we're at show 600, but it started 63 years ago reading aloud. Like, oh my gosh, you know? With this, I used to read it all the time. I would read it to my grandmother. I would read it to my friend. I just would read. I read constantly. And it's well loved. I'm surprised it's in as good a condition as it is because it's been through me through all these years and my own kids I read it to as well as my own grandkids. So it's been well read and well loved. So that's my 600 show celebrating Dr. Seuss. And I'm just, crash. I just whacked the book into my headphone. But a little bit, like I said, we got a lot. This is not a picture book. This is a book of pictures. So we have a lot to go through. But he was something else. An artist that never held back and had an imagination and just went for it. And I think that kind of inspiration for all of us is something that speaks to our artist's heart. And I know it does to the bucket fillers. So for everybody that's here tonight, thank you so much for helping to make this show happen, for being part of the Bucket Filling Brigade, or part of the Gold Group, or part of the Video Creator Club. You're all like part of my flock that I'm building, and it feels really good. And to share this love of literature with you is really fulfilling for me, because as there's so much to books like Gerald McBoing Boing. It's written in 1950. And like, seriously, you guys have to go watch the animated film. I put the link in the description. The Academy Award winning animated short from 1950, Dr. Seuss. The animation holds up like you cannot believe. But the story about being true to yourself, about celebrating your differences, and about making them work is just amazing. So, everybody, thank you so much for being here, for celebrating this with me, and for making this show possible, and for always encouraging me to come back now twice a week instead of every night, but twice a week to be with you. So I will be back on Thursday for more story and art. I'll add a little more from the Dr. Seuss book. I'll show some more images from that just to keep that kind of theme going. Hey, Carlos, hi. Woohoo. Nice to have you here. But I hope that this story time fills your bucket a little bit. It fills mine. That's why we have the Bucket Filling Brigade. So I'll be back Thursday with stories, back next Sunday with more story and art. So we'll have show and tell. So you know how to send in your stuff if you want to have your artwork displayed and to show off your stuff. But everybody, here's the thing. Until next time, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around you. But the first place you'll find it is when you go look in your own mirror. And I'll see you next time.
In the heat of the night, we could get lost in all the lights and sounds. Feeling alright, we won't just stay here downtown. There's not just stars on the boulevard, they're in the light in your eyes. Oh, could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous. We could be famous. You blow my mind, looking like a model, better than the usual. Yeah, you don't even try, not average or typical. I put you on a pedestal. There's not just stars on the boulevard, they're in the light in your eyes. Oh, we don't need no black cards, I just need you by my side. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead gorgeous, wow. Ooh, you got me feeling starstruck too. We could be famous. We could be famous. We could be famous. We could be shameless, famous, running cool, with a love that leaves us weightless. Ooh, drop dead